From Egypt's mysterious gates to Peru's legendary portals, ancient civilizations left behind puzzling doorways that challenge our understanding of history. Today we'll explore these remarkable structures and the fascinating theories about their true purpose. Let's travel to Turkey's Göbekli Tepe, a site that's rewriting history books. Built over 12,000 years ago, this ancient wonder features massive stone circles and T-shaped pillars that have left archaeologists scratching their heads. Some researchers suggest these structures might have been more than just temples. They could have been ancient astronomical observation points. Moving to Egypt, we find the mysterious Abu Ghurab, often called the Stargate of Egypt. This platform-like structure, built from alabaster crystal, was said to help pharaohs communicate with celestial beings. While these claims might sound like science fiction, the precise engineering and astronomical alignments of these sites make us wonder about their true purpose. The builders clearly had advanced knowledge of architecture and astronomy, though we're still piecing together exactly how they used these remarkable structures. The ancient builders weren't just putting up pretty buildings, they were using some seriously clever math and geometry. These folks understood that certain shapes and patterns could create special effects in their sacred spaces. They used repeating patterns like spirals, circles, and something called the golden ratio, the same pattern we see in seashells and flower petals. In places like the Great Pyramid of Giza, they lined up their buildings with incredible accuracy to match star positions and create perfect geometric shapes. Some researchers today think these designs might have actually affected the energy in these spaces, like how a magnifying glass focuses light. While we can't prove these buildings created actual energy fields, we can measure some unusual effects, like special sound patterns in the chambers of ancient temples. Modern scientists are still amazed by how precise these measurements were, especially since they were made thousands of years ago. High in the mountains of Peru stands the Hayu Marca doorway, a massive stone structure carved into solid rock that locals call the Gateway of the Gods. This 23-foot-high doorway has a smaller alcove at its base, making it look like a giant keyhole in the mountainside. Local legends tell of heroes and priests using this portal to move between worlds, and some say it was a doorway used by their gods to travel between Earth and their celestial home. What makes this structure really interesting is how it lines up perfectly with other important sites in the area. The doorway faces an ancient city and aligns with specific star patterns in the night sky. While we might not be opening cosmic portals anytime soon, the precise stone cutting and astronomical alignments show just how skilled ancient Peruvian builders were. Ancient Egyptians took their gateways seriously. These weren't just fancy doorways, but carefully designed structures they believed connected our world with the afterlife. The most famous of these is the false door, found in many tombs, which they saw as a bridge between the living and the dead. These doors were covered in detailed carvings, showing offerings and special Egyptian symbols. What's really cool is how these doors were built using specific measurements and placed in exact spots in the tombs. The Egyptians believed that at certain times, especially during sunrise and sunset, these gates would actually open up, letting spirits pass through. They even left real food and drinks by these doors, thinking their deceased family members could enjoy them in the afterlife. Modern research has found that some of these doors have unusual acoustic properties. They create strange echoes and sound effects that might have added to their mysterious nature. Let's look at how modern science might explain these ancient stargates. Quantum physics suggests that multiple dimensions could exist alongside our own, not too different from what ancient cultures believed. Scientists have found that at the smallest level, particles can actually exist in two places at once, and some theories suggest that wormholes could connect different points in space and time. This connects interestingly with how ancient builders designed their portals. For example, many of these structures were built with materials like quartz and granite that have unique electromagnetic properties. The precise measurements and astronomical alignments of these sites also match up with some modern theories about energy fields and dimensional portals. While we can't say these ancient gates were actually teleporting people across space, the builders might have understood something about the nature of reality that we're only now rediscovering through quantum physics. Ancient texts from around the world contain fascinating descriptions of mysterious portals and gateways. The Egyptians wrote about gates of the sky in their pyramid texts, while Sumerian tablets describe doorways where gods entered our world. In Sanskrit writings, we find mentions of light doorways that allowed instant travel across vast distances. These weren't just creative stories. Many texts include specific details about how these portals worked, when they could be used, and where to find them. The descriptions often match up with actual archaeological sites we've discovered. What's really interesting is how similar these stories are across different cultures that had no contact with each other. They all talk about special doorways, specific times they could be used, and the importance of astronomical alignments. While we should be careful not to take everything literally, these detailed accounts suggest our ancestors might have known something important about these special places. The ancient builders understood something fascinating about sound. It could be used to create powerful effects in their sacred spaces. Many of these portal sites have amazing acoustic properties. When you make specific sounds in these places, the stone structures create unusual echoes and vibrations. At some sites, like the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid, certain tones create standing waves that bounce around in perfect patterns. The builders use special stones that respond to sound in unique ways, like granite and limestone that actually vibrate at specific frequencies. They also designed rooms with exact measurements that amplify certain sounds while cancelling out others. Ancient texts talk about special chants and sounds used in ceremonies at these sites. While we can't prove they were opening dimensional doorways, modern scientists have found that sound waves can affect matter in surprising ways. Many ancient portal sites have some weird science going on. They show unusual magnetic readings that puzzle modern researchers. At places like the Giza pyramids and Göbekli Tepe, scientists have recorded magnetic fields that don't match the surrounding area. These sites often contain large amounts of quartz crystal and granite, materials known to respond to electricity and pressure. During storms, some of these structures build up electrical charges, and visitors often report their electronic devices acting strangely nearby. What's really interesting is that many of these locations sit on natural energy hotspots, places where Earth's magnetic field is naturally stronger. The ancient builders seem to know exactly where to place these structures for maximum effect. While this doesn't prove they were building stargates, it shows they understood something about natural energy fields that we're still trying to figure out today. These ancient sites aren't just collecting dust, they're still causing strange experiences today. Visitors to places like the Great Pyramid and Stonehenge often report weird feelings of time moving differently or sudden temperature changes. At Peru's Hayu Marca doorway, tourists have described feeling dizzy or seeing strange lights, especially during sunrise and sunset. Park rangers at these sites have collected hundreds of stories about watches stopping, compasses spinning wildly, and people feeling like they've briefly stepped somewhere else. In 1996, a guard at Karnak Temple in Egypt claimed he saw people in ancient Egyptian clothes walking through a wall. They vanished when he got closer. Scientists explain some of these events as natural phenomena caused by the site's unique geology and electromagnetic fields. The massive stone blocks can create magnetic effects that mess with our perception and electronic equipment. While we should be careful about jumping to conclusions, these modern reports show there's still something mysterious about these ancient places. When we look at ancient civilizations, there's growing evidence they might have understood more about dimensions than we initially thought. Their buildings and texts show they grasped complex math concepts that we're only now confirming with modern physics. Take the ancient Egyptians. They built structures that perfectly match the golden ratio and pi, suggesting deep mathematical knowledge. Many cultures left behind detailed drawings and models showing extra dimensions beyond our normal 3. The Babylonians worked with advanced geometry that hints at understanding higher dimensions, while Hindu texts describe multiple layers of reality. These weren't just lucky guesses. They built massive structures that demonstrate this knowledge in practical ways. While we shouldn't jump to conclusions about ancient civilizations having modern physics textbooks, it's clear they had sophisticated ways of understanding space and dimension. Thanks for joining me on this journey through history's most mysterious doorways. While we may not have all the answers, these ancient sites continue to amaze us. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and share to explore more historical mysteries together.